There's no doubt that confidence factors as well as the devaluation of the Jamaican dollar have resulted in low valuations of most stocks on the Jamaican market. At least that's the view of analysts at VM Wealth, the wealth management arm of Victoria Mutual. Those analysts have a long-term optimistic view on the economy, which is showing signals of improvement, what with the 1.8% growth in the December quarter. So what should investors do at this time in respect of stocks? Well, VM Wealth says the savvy investor should invest now before stock prices begin to appreciate significantly. VM Wealth says as the economy improves and companies continue to restructure, they are likely to emerge stronger in the medium to long term. It says investors should acquire the stocks of stable companies with what it describes as improving fundamentals. It identifies three such companies: Grace Kennedy, JMMB, and Jamaica Broilers Group. Of course, this analysis comes from VM Wealth, a company licensed to give investment advice, and we have not sought to influence it in any way. Further afield, Transport Minister and former Finance Minister Dr. Omar Davies, addressing Sagicor's investment seminar in Kingston April 9, not only suggested infrastructural developments as a long-term investment for pension funds, but also residential housing. Dr. Davies was speaking in the context of the new paradigm, which sees investors having less appetite for government paper.
Much of the pressure of Kingston could be relieved by properly planned developments in the Mid-Island, with persons being able to consider options. They could live in St. Anne or St. Catherine and work in Kingston or somewhere on the North Coast. I could present similar opportunities which will take place in light of either the container terminal or in the Goat Island project if that comes off. All these projects will require, in addition to the initial major investment, supporting investments which will be more within the scope of our smaller domestic funds. I'll cite, for example, the impact of the North Coast Highway since the commencement of construction in 1997. There are 28 major facilities have been developed, mainly in tourism, since then.
Speaking at the same function, President of Sagicor Group Jamaica Richard Biles had some interesting news on Jamaica's inflation numbers, which appears to have come out well below the central bank's top forecast of 10%.
News. The inflation numbers look like they are abating. It looks like it will come out at about 8% or somewhere near there for the fiscal year. That is from April to March of 2014. So 8% is on the lower side of what was expected in the IMF program. Growth in the economy, GDP growth, is likely to be at or a little better than 1%. Not what we would want, but it is not negative, and it comes very close to what the IMF had in their agreement. So we await those numbers. I think that they will be out. They are normally out 2-3 months after the end of the quarter, so we have a little wait for that, but I think it will be positive.
We too await those numbers. That's your wealth for this week. I'm Owen James.